Hello everyone. Welcome back to Daily Dose of English. I'm Tom and I'm so excited to be here with you today. You know what? I have a question for you. Have you ever been in a situation where someone speaks to you in English and you freeze? Your mind goes blank. You know exactly what you want to say in your language, but in English, nothing comes out. Well, my friend, today we're going to fix that. In this episode, we'll learn 50 essential phrases that native speakers use every single day. These aren't textbook phrases. These are real, natural expressions that will make you sound more fluent and confident. We'll practice them together using shadowing, which means you'll repeat after me to train your mouth and brain at the same time. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to start conversations, keep them going, and end them naturally. You'll know what to say when someone gives you good news, bad news, or when you need to politely disagree. Are you ready? Let's begin. Main lesson. Part 1. Starting conversations. Let's start with something simple but powerful. How to begin a conversation in English. Many students know "how are you?" but native speakers have many more ways to start talking. Let me teach you some natural phrases. First phrase, "Hey, what's up?" "Hey, what's up?" Now you repeat. This is very casual, perfect for friends or people your age. You can also say "what's going on?" What's going on? What's going on? Now you repeat. Here's a slightly more formal one. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Now you repeat. Now let's learn something interesting. When Americans say "how are you?", they don't always expect a real answer. It's just a greeting. So you can simply say "good, thanks." You, good, thanks. You, good, thanks. You. Now you repeat. Let's try a professional greeting. Good to see you again. Good to see you again. Good to see you again. Now you repeat. And here's one for when you haven't seen someone in a while. Long time no see. Long time no see. Long time no see. Now you repeat. Sometimes you want to start a conversation with a stranger. Try this. Excuse me, do you have a minute? Excuse me. Do you have a minute? Excuse me, do you have a minute? Now you repeat. Main lesson. Part 2. Showing interest and keeping conversations going. Now you've started the conversation. Great, but how do you keep it going? The secret is showing interest. Let me teach you some magic phrases that make people want to talk more. When someone tells you something interesting, say, "Really? Tell me more. Really? Tell me more. Really? Tell me more." Now you repeat. Or you can say, "That's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting." Now you repeat. Here's a great one. No way, no way, no way. Now you repeat. We use this when we're surprised. When you want someone to continue their story. And then what happened? And then what happened? And then what happened? Now you repeat. To show you understand, say, "I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I see what you mean." Now you repeat. Or simply, "That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Now you repeat. When you agree with someone, you've got a point. You've got a point. You've got a point. Now you repeat. And here's a friendly way to agree. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Now you repeat. Main lesson. Part 3. Expressing opinions politely. In English, being polite is super important, especially when sharing opinions. Let me show you how to express yourself without sounding rude. To share your opinion gently. In my opinion. In my opinion. In my opinion. Now you repeat. Or, I think that. I think that. I think that. Now you repeat. When you're not completely sure, I could be wrong, but I could be wrong, but I could be wrong, but now you repeat. To disagree politely, say, I see your point, but I see your point, but I see your point, but now you repeat. Or, actually, I think. Actually, I think. Actually, I think. Now you repeat. Here's a very polite disagreement. I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure about that. Now you repeat. When you want to suggest something, what if we, what if we, what if we, now you repeat. Or, how about, how about, how about, now you repeat. Practice section. Part 1. Common situations. Now let's practice phrases for specific situations. These are super useful in daily life. When someone gives you good news, say, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now you repeat. Or, congratulations. 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 Now you repeat. You can also say, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Now you repeat. When someone shares bad news, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. Now you repeat. Or, that must be tough. That must be tough. That must be tough. Now you repeat. To offer help. Let me know if you need anything. Let me know if you need anything. Let me know if you need anything. Now you repeat. When you need clarification, could you say that again? Could you say that again? Could you say that again? Now you repeat. Or, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Now you repeat. Practice section. Part 2. Making plans and suggestions. Making plans in English can be tricky. Let me teach you natural ways to suggest activities and respond to invitations. To suggest an activity, Do you want to grab coffee? Do you want to grab coffee? Do you want to grab coffee? Now you repeat. By the way, grab here doesn't mean taking something quickly. In American English, grab coffee or grab lunch just means to go get some together. It's very casual. Another way, are you free this weekend? Are you free this weekend? Are you free this weekend? Now you repeat. To accept an invitation. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Now you repeat. Or count me in. Count me in. Count me in. Now you repeat. To decline politely. I'd love to, but. I'd love to, but. I'd love to, but. Now you repeat. Or maybe another time. Maybe another time. Maybe another time. Now you repeat. When you're not sure, let me check my schedule. Let me check my schedule. Let me check my schedule. Now you repeat. Practice section. Part 3. Ending conversations. Knowing how to end a conversation politely is just as important as starting one. Let's practice. When you need to leave, I should get going. I should get going. I should get going. Now you repeat. Or I've got to run. I've got to run. I've got to run. Now you repeat. A polite way to end, it was nice talking to you. It was nice talking to you. It was nice talking to you. Now you repeat. Before leaving, take care, take care, take care. Now you repeat. Or see you around, see you around, see you around. Now you repeat. For phone conversations, I'll let you go, I'll let you go, I'll let you go. Now you repeat. Storytelling, real-life dialogues. Now let's put everything together with some real conversations. I'll play different characters and you can practice along. Dialogue 1, meeting a colleague. Sarah, hey Mark, how's it going? Mark, pretty good, thanks. How about you? Sarah, can't complain. Did you see the email about the meeting? Mark, no, I haven't checked yet. What's it about? Sarah, they're changing the project deadline. Mark, really? Tell me more. Let's practice key phrases from this dialogue. Can't complain. Can't complain. Can't complain. Now you repeat. This means I'm okay or things are fine. What's it about? What's it about? What's it about? Now you repeat. Dialogue 2. Making weekend plans. Tom, are you doing anything special this weekend? Lisa, not really. What did you have in mind? Tom, I was thinking we could check out that new restaurant downtown. Lisa, sounds good to me. What time works for you? Tom, how about Saturday at 7? Lisa, perfect. I'll see you then. Practice these phrases. What did you have in mind? What did you have in mind? What did you have in mind? Now you repeat. What time works for you? What time works for you? What time works for you? Now you repeat. Advanced phrases for natural conversation. Let me share some phrases that will really make you sound like a native speaker. These are the little expressions we use all the time when you suddenly remember something. Oh, by the way. Oh, by the way. Oh, by the way. Now you repeat. When you almost forgot. That reminds me. That reminds me. That reminds me. Now you repeat. To change the subject. Speaking of which. Speaking of which. Speaking of which. Now you repeat. When you're thinking, let me think. Let me think. Let me think. Now you repeat. Or that's a good question. That's a good question. That's a good question. Now you repeat. When you're not sure, I'm on the fence about it. I'm on the fence about it. I'm on the fence about it. Now you repeat. This means you can't decide between two options. Common mistakes to avoid. Let me quickly mention some common mistakes I hear from English learners. First, don't say I am agree. The correct form is I agree. I agree. I agree. Now you repeat. Second, when someone says thank you, don't just say yes. Say you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Now you repeat. Or casually, no problem. No problem. No problem. Now you repeat. Third, don't say I very like it. Say, I really like it. I really like it. I really like it. Now you repeat. Cultural tips. Here's something interesting about English-speaking cultures. Small talk is very important. Americans especially love talking about the weather, sports, or weekend plans. It's not deep conversation, but it helps build relationships. When someone asks, "How are you?" they usually expect a short, positive answer. Even if you're having a bad day, it's common to say, "Not bad, thanks." Not bad, thanks. Not bad, thanks. Now you repeat. Also, Americans love enthusiasm. Don't be afraid to show excitement with phrases like, "That's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing." Now you repeat. Final practice round. Let's do one final practice with longer phrases. I'll break them down for you. I haven't seen you in ages. How have you been? Let's break this down. I haven't seen you in ages. I haven't seen you in ages. Now you repeat. How have you been? How have you been? How have you been? Now you repeat. Would you mind if I asked you something? Would you mind if I asked you something? Would you mind if I asked you something? Now you repeat. I really appreciate you taking the time to help me. I really appreciate you taking the time to help me. I really appreciate you taking the time to help me. Now you repeat. Recap and call to action. Wow, we've covered so much today. Let's quickly review what you've learned. Natural ways to start conversations beyond just hello. Phrases to show interest and keep conversations flowing. Polite ways to express opinions and disagree. How to make plans and respond to invitations. Natural ways to end conversations. Real dialogues you can use in daily life. Remember, the key to speaking fluently is practice. Use these phrases every day. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Practice with friends. Watch English shows and repeat what you hear. Here's your homework. Choose 5 phrases from today's lesson and use them this week. Just 5. Start small and build your confidence. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to Daily Dose of English. Hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss our next lesson. Next week we'll learn phrases for talking about your job and career in English. Also, leave a comment below. Tell me which phrase was your favourite. I read every comment and I'd love to hear from you. Remember, every native speaker was once a beginner. You're not just learning English, you're opening doors to new opportunities, new friendships and new adventures. Keep practicing, stay positive, and believe in yourself. This is Tom from Daily Dose of English.